This is the fundamental problem that I've got with kids' shoes at the moment, you see, because most of them are literally pointed, and I don't understand why, because my children's feet are not pointed, why do I have to buy them pointy shoes? My daughter doesn't have overly wide feet, she's actually got quite narrow feet, but inside this shoe here, and most shoes that are available to her on the high street, make her toes forced inwards like this, creating a lack of gaps between her toes and an inability for the big toe to do its most basic function, which is stability. So this is the formation that her toes should be in, but inside these shoes you can see that her big toe is like pushed towards the centre here, and all of her little toes are crushed in too. So this is why she needs to wear barefoot shoes, which actually allow her foot to stay in a completely natural position. As you can see, she's got plenty of room for her big toe to stay straight. It's not been pushed into the centre. And all of her other toes are able to splay out. So when she's walking, she's able to move all of her toes, and she's using all of the muscles that are in her feet deliberately and functionally. Shoes like this are so narrow and cushioned unnecessarily. They've even got a rise in the heel, and barefoot shoes by comparison do not have any of this unnatural overbuilt material. So not only are they actually shaped like feet, but a lovely soft and flat sole which actually moves with feet, so it actually allows them to move like they're barefoot. Kids aren't born with squished up and messed up toes, they're born with straight toes that have got a very good function. When you put kids' feet inside these shoes, you're actually just going to mess up the job of these toes, which is stability and balance. So you might actually find that you've got a very clumsy child, but if you were to switch them over to barefoot shoes to let their feet move naturally and splay out, you might actually find that you improve their balance and stability. These shoes here literally have the same kind of design, but one of them will give a child really big foot problems, and it will also take them up off the floor and stop that sensory feedback, which is absolutely critical for growing kids. Your feet have got like 200,000 nerve endings, which is really helpful for feedback from the ground. It also helps with their positioning, their gait and their walking posture, and I mean that is so critical when we're young. As you can see, there's very little difference between this shoe in the midfoot and that shoe. They are just completely different in the toe box. Human feet have got straight toes and they need to splay out when we're walking. Wearing something this restrictive literally stops the toes from working. I can understand why a lot of adults don't want to wear barefoot shoes, but why are we still allowing brands to make such heavily pointed, overbuilt shoes? The shoes in the supermarkets and the high street stores at the moment, like JD, they're absolutely horrific, and they've got no science to back up why we need all of this cushioning, heel rise and chunkiness at the back. It is so far from nature, and people are wondering why kids are walking funny. Well, maybe it's because we've not got shoes that are shaped like feet. They're actually stopping our feet from functioning in the most natural way. If you want to know anything more about barefoot shoes, I talk about them quite a lot. Come give me a follow and ask me a question in the comments.